Alright, today I'm moving my compost pile. The reasons for this are to turn it, flip it upside down, and to open up this space over here for a garden. Yeah, I've never turned this pile before, so I think it'll help it a lot. And also to salvage some compost, because I know there's a ton of good compost in there right now. So this is the progress. I'm going to put some sticks on the bottom, let them break down over the years. This pallet, I kind of lifted it off there, it came apart, and this pallet here came off, it broke down there, so I put new screws in it. Of course, our wireless drill has no power, so I had to run multiple extension cords all the way up to the house. I've got hiccups. Okay, so next I'm going to drag this stuff in there, this stuff in there, just keep dragging it, this stuff in there. But here, check it out before I do that. See down there, that's a good layer of what I think is nice compost. It looks kind of funny because it's just sitting there like a Minecraft block, right? The cicadas are not happy. Yeah, so that's where I am now. I'll show you some good compost once I dig it up. Okay, this stick here, we cut it off of our bush or somewhere. I don't know what kind of, I don't recognize it right now. But we cut it and threw it in the compost probably more than a year ago. And as you can see, if I can get the camera to focus, it's got roots. It cloned itself. And this is new growth. Now I knew about this because that much of it was sticking out of the compost pile. And I saw it growing. So that's pretty cool. I'll put this in some soil and see if it'll continue to survive even though I've disturbed the roots. Okay, I made it past the layer of branches from when we had to cut our bushes down. I decided to take them out because they take up a lot of space, and while they did create nice pockets of air, they take too long to decompose. So when I build my garden, I will put these in the bottom of it as kind of a really long release fertilizer, like hugelkultur. So that'll go in the bottom. Here, I basically hit the layer of the actual compost pile now. I don't know how well you can see or not because my hand is going to be a little shaky, but the number of sow bugs, there are just a million of them. They're everywhere, like literally millions of them. And they're just all over. But I'll try to stir it up with the rake a little, and I think you'll see even better how many there are. That doesn't show up on the camera too well. There's a lot. I think literally millions. Anyways, I'll keep breaking this out. Here's the first earthworm that I found. It's a big one. Okay, so from here on out it's the shovel phase. And I'll put some of this on top of the compost, but I think I'm going to put most of it in here. And just as a temporary storage, and then I might go and buy a whole bunch of 5-gallon buckets to store the stuff in. I'll screen it with my sieve, put it in buckets, store the buckets. Buckets they're cheap, but they kind of add up after you've got a lot of them in the lids. But I'll probably end up doing that. Well, I'm digging through the compost and I find these. I don't know if y'all recognize this from one of my previous videos, but this is what came out of my barrel composter when I tried to compost in a barrel. It stunk really, really, really bad. It's the worst smelling thing in the world. And I think basically my compost, it got soggy. It didn't drain like it was supposed to. The ratios may have been off, and then the bacteria, I think they're called anaerobic. They prefer no air. They set in, and and just a million soldier flies. This was full of maggots. So, I guess this is maggot shit. It might be like the ultimate fertilizer, I don't know. But it lost all its stench. Look at that. No, it's not the ultimate fertilizer. There's still paper in it. Where's that plastic? No, that's plastic. Somehow plastic got in there. But look at this stuff. Oh, and the difference from then and now, the only difference I see, I mean, it's been years of being inside that compost pile, is the only difference I see is that it no longer stinks. Wait. Once I broke that one open, there's a faint stench, but really they don't stink anymore. So I guess I'm just gonna break these up. Oh, look at that. Ugh. Nasty. It's like gum. Look at that. See this? It's like gum. I mean, not all of it is, just that little piece was, but yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna break this up and mix it with my compost. Not too happy to be seeing this stuff. I guess worms don't eat it. I don't know what to make of it. If anybody knows what the deal is with this stuff, please tell me. First the poo balls and now this. I'm finding a lot of stuff that is not composted, not broken down at all. And on the bottom, there's this huge dry patch of stinking oak leaves, live oak leaves that never break down. It's kind of upsetting how bad the compost actually turned out. Anyways, I keep trying to move it. You see how it expands? I took out a little corner, less than a fourth of it, and it takes up all this space. And I'll throw a lot of it in here too, because it's not finished composting. I guess it's because it's in the shade. This is like the shadiest part of the yard. Compost needs heat and water to do its thing. Anyways, I'm gonna get back to work. Here's an interesting bug. He's hairy. I think his legs moving are making the camera not focus. He's like a little beetle. He's all hairy. Here's his backside. I think that's like a baby green June bug, a baby scarab beetle. He's definitely got that kind of beetle look to him. And he's already got some vibrant colors. I'm gonna buy a new camera one day. Whoa! Alright, dude. You can live in my compost pile. There you go. Have fun. Well, I'm basically done. Gonna throw a tarp over this so that the rain won't destroy it, flood it. And here's this pile. Pretty good amount of uncomposted stuff. I mainly put the uncomposted in here. The stuff that looked pretty good in there sticks right there. Never underestimate how bad Central Texas soil is. This here looks identical to how it looked when I first installed this compost pile several years ago. Look at this poor earthworm trying to dig into the dirt, but he can't because it's extremely compacted clay soil. It's bad stuff. There you go. Now you can dig. Yeah, so it wasn't all bad. This is some good compost. I'm gonna sift it probably next weekend or something. There were some worms. I gotta pour them out. Let's see if we can see them all. There were some worms, not a lot though. Yeah, you can see them. There's one, there's one, here's one, there's one, there's one, there's one. Probably about a dozen worms. Wow, look at the size of that mealworm. Never seen one that big. Yeah. There were some bad results, but nothing to get bummed out over, because there were some good results too. And yeah, I mean, it's not bad. I had fun doing it. Got to make a video, saw a bunch of critters and stuff. Got a lot of exercise. It was pretty good. And now I have a spot for my keyhole garden. I'll fill that in. Because there's actually a mound right there, so yeah. And I'll build a keyhole garden here. And then I will probably buy a whole bunch of red wiggler worms, put them in with the keyhole garden, and then put like 10% of them in with this to help it out, because the earthworms cannot burrow through this stuff to get up to the compost. It's bad stuff. Also, I was thinking that maybe before throwing down a compost pile on really compacted hard dirt, well actually I dug it out, that's why it's like that. I dug it out thinking that would help, but evidently not. And yeah, so before putting down a compost pile, you might want to check out the site where it's going, and then, like, I don't know, put a drip line there, cover it with some mulch and let it run for a few months or something. Not constantly, of course, on a timer, but you know, just to get the soil into a condition where worms can actually come up into it. But yeah, that's it for today. I'm very tired. Thank you for watching, as always. It was a lot of fun. Sorry I'm so long-winded. Yeah, goodbye.